very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, as Indigo Airlines is often fond of saying, boys and girls, because some of you do look a little bit like boys and girls. That's not a bad thing. We'll forgive you your age tonight because this show tonight, this event tonight, is in some senses a celebration of age. It's a celebration of how far you've come, and it's a celebration of how much more you still have to travel through. So let me say this on behalf of Fortune India, how proud we are to have each one of you here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me at the moment to invite really the man who's been the guardian of Fortune India all these years, D.N. Mukherjee, the editor of Fortune India.
Hi, good evening. Good to be here again in Bangalore. This is the third time we are hosting the 40 Under 40 event. I often in other meetings end up hearing a lot about the 40 Under 40. People keep wanting to know, what makes you guys tick. And I think there are a bunch of people out there, a large majority, who are tracking how the 40 Under 40 keep performing consistently year after year after year. Actually, I want to move to the next part. We have as our chief guest here a very interesting gentleman, the chairman and co-founder of a company called Hyperloop Transportation. Bebop wants to disrupt the very notion of transportation. Bebop is building a huge business on what is perhaps relatively a shoestring budget. And I think Bangalore and all of us is going to be enriched by what Bebop has to say. Bebop.
My name is Bebop Cresta. We are doing something that is not only changing how we conceive transportation, it's changing the concept of company. We need to regain the most important thing in our life, that is time. When we started to think about this technology, the most interesting thing was that, it's fast. Imagine to be able to go from Bangalore to Mysore in less than 20 minutes. And what makes us particularly proud, the way we built it, it's unique. So one day, Elon Musk, 2013, published the white paper and said, this is better than the high-speed rail, and you should build it because it's a new way, a revolutionary way to actually conceive transportation. What we did, we took the white paper, we published it in a website, and we did a call to action. We said, we want to do it. If you want to join our team and want to help us, we don't have all the solutions, please join and we'll give you stock option in exchange. We asked them, please help us in all the topics, from how to build a pylon to a ticket. And what happened is magic. After 4 years of this, we have the largest amount of professionals that have been employed without hiring them. It's called crowdsourcing. We have 35 people hired full-time, but 800 working in exchange of stock options from 42 countries, 30 from India. And this is a new way to conceive companies. With a full developed system, you can transport more than 500 million people a year. And we can build it on top of existing right-of-ways. So we can build it on top of highways, on top of rails. In India, we are looking at several routes. And the message is that, it's happening right now. And I leave you with the phrase, those who say it can be done should not interrupt those doing it. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Can I please invite Vijay Balachandran, Director Sales, HTC, to facilitate Bebop with the memento from HTC. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to a very special part of the evening, which is our big debate. The topic for the debate this evening is, have investors been bad parents?
So, this is a very interesting topic. According to data from Traxon, 200 startups shut down last year, right? And we felt that this was a good opportunity to really understand, have investors been excessively loving? Has there been an absence of tough love? Let's have you guys going at each other. So, okay, let's go for the motion.
About less than 2 years ago, I became the father of a beautiful child. And you realize that your responsibilities is not just giving birth or getting that person to this world, but really nurturing that person and hoping that over a period of time, that person really becomes independent. And ladies and gentlemen, if I were to use that same example for investors, in terms of giving birth is pretty much writing the first check for the startup. Helping the startups navigate the complex growth issues, HR issues, scale issues is how you kind of guide your child initially as well. And over a period of time, you expect your child, quote unquote, your startup to be completely independent. In the last 10 years or so of Indian investments, Indian startup scene, we have not seen parents being able to do their justice in terms of guiding the child to really come to a stage where they are in terms of, more or less, they're able to continue on their own. Investors in India do nothing post giving birth to a child. Investors have been bad parents. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay. Against the motion.
Early lessons of life. I think that is very important, and that's one thing that parents do to you. Before you start walking, they actually tell you where you don't have to go and fall into a pit. So in our case, investors, if we are considering them parents here, they do teach us a lesson. And that is, you should lie, you should not help each other, and you should fight. And that's the valid lesson that we want to learn from our parents. And that's why I believe that they are good parents. Second point, which is competition. I think हम सबको पता है कि सब बोलते हैं कि वो शर्मा जी का लड़का बहुत ज़्यादा नंबर ला रहा है, उससे बच के रहना. And I think that is one good lesson that all investors teach us, that you have to be aware of competition. And I'm sure we have numerous conversations about where investors go fish information from there, find out what they're doing, keep a track on their metrics. So I think they keep a score better than actual parents. So yes, I would like to believe we are Indians. We only know of two kinds of parents, good and very good. That's it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think our parents are technically programmed to be very fair, but I think that's not what we've really seen as symptomatic of the ecosystem. I think if I was to just quote a couple of figures just from the list itself, about 13 that were part of both 2015, 2016 and 2017 are largely fin and tech startups, and they are all funded. Because we see funding rushing towards a particular subset of startups, we see entrepreneurs also trying to cater and to pander to what the investors are looking for. I remember as a child, once I'd said something bad to this other kid, and my mother put a little mirchi in my mouth, and that was to teach me a lesson. So that was in the context of my parents being super strict and trying to teach me a lesson. I think what we see happening in the Indian ecosystem is a lot of face saving, right? So if my startup or my potential investment is not doing well, I will run and go pour in some more money to try and make that startup look good, or for my potential investment to not look like a failure. Thank you.
My opposition assumed that the investors are giving you money so that they can make your life miserable. I'm not sure. Your investors giving you money so that they can help you build a company. They can augment resources for you. So that money you can use to drive growth. Entrepreneurs understand from that money that, okay, now he has become my daddy, which I have to listen. Every time I take any call, I don't have to apply my brain. Rather, I have to go to my daddy and ask that what should I do now? Which stream of business I should go? I think as an entrepreneur, one should use their own brains, that what is good for themselves, what is good for their company. And the last thing, I've read somewhere that parents can't be good parents if their children don't hate them sometimes. I think this is that situation in my view, where these children are hating their parents right now because their parents are asking them tough questions. I rest my case.
Okay, now we move to the second part where it's an open house really.
So what we want to say is that investors are bad parents because they kind of spoon feed you to an extent where you don't know what needs to be done.
You know, it's like a situation where a small kid, something wrong happens, he looks for the person that who he has to blame. And this is where the situation is, where anything goes wrong in their company and they want to find only as the investors to blame.
First and foremost premise, I believe no investor is nobody's parents. Absolutely, that's rubbish. Because today, and you hear, every entrepreneur is a builder and every investor is a financer. Today, as entrepreneurs, we are working very hard to run our business. How do we succeed? We succeed when we have an ecosystem that supports us, when we have people who support us. I don't want any VCs to put stick and rod on me. They should respect me because I'm a builder. They should stand with me because they are my partner. And they should support me if they see me falling. But if I fall, it's my choice because I am an entrepreneur. Let's not forget what it means to be an entrepreneur. I started on my own 2 feet. I'm going to remain on my own 2 feet, and I'm going to work. So if a VC, an employee, a partner, an investor has to come, then please stand with me. Please don't babysit me.
You know, your speech, do you think that was that the summation?
Yeah.
We need to give them a chance to summarize.
think-
Okay, you're
We
doing
have-
the summation.
I have So how did we come to the conclusion that investors are parents? And if I am not surprised at all, if investors are thinking they are parents, I am not surprised at all that they are bad parents because they are not even parents. How can you be a parent when you don't have a child? So my point is this: entrepreneurs have to take responsibility of this entire thing now. I think whether they are parents or not, I don't know, but certainly they are bad.
Entrepreneurs are bad
So
now.
and I think you guys should seriously go do some homework and think whether they are parents at all to first. We'll come to whether they are good parents or
Okay,
bad
come
parents.
back, come back. Thank you, guys. I think it was a spirited debate, but there were a couple of points both sides really didn't touch upon. What we were trying to get at is whether there was any control on the kind of capital that got through behind these companies. We're all familiar with the fact that in an industry, the 7th or the 8th or the 9th entrepreneur was getting funding. If you go to a bank, which is the other way of raising capital in this country, you have to answer a lot of questions to say that, you know, I'm the 9th or the 10th player and I still have a hope in hell of making money. Those questions don't get asked. I would have liked some of those questions to have been answered. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was very spirited. Just want to quickly thank the jury for being here. And I'm going to ask the jury members to please come on stage and announce the results.
It was an interesting debate, pretty animated, and did cover a very vast area. The idea of nurturing is a very important concept, and I think the participant who spoke for the motion did make the point about nurturing. But the other participant made the point that, look, we got to expand the scope. They're not actually parents, but they are partners. For an adult, a parent has to be a partner, a friend in need, and not a parent-parent. And that kind of a relationship, I think, was the point that they brought up and expanded. So the jury veered towards the team which was against the motion, Anurag Kumar, Jitendra Gupta, and Shraddha Sharma against the motion. Thank you very much.
Can you please stand up? The three winners. Fantastic. There you are, ladies and gentlemen, the winners. I would ask Mr. Mukherjee also to hand a token of our appreciation to the three members of the jury. Nitin Prasad. Mr. Mahindran. Ladies and gentlemen, Mohandas Pai. We're going to begin. I want to first invite Kaushal Duggar, founder of T-Box. Our first Fortune 40 under 40. Next up, Abhijit Kane and Abhinav Astana, postman for some people. Abhishek Goel, Traxon, co-founder. Akash Dongre, Indus OS. Perfect, all three founders are here. from LinkedIn, Akshay Kothari, on behalf of Akshay. Amanpreet Bajaj, Airbnb India. Anand Babu, co-founder, Jayalakshmi Agrotech. Archit Gupta, Clear Tax. Ashwini Ashokan, Math Street Den. Harishankaran Karunanidhi, Hacker Rank. Jitendra Gupta, Citrus Bay. Karan Bhagat, IIFL Wealth Management. Kavita Iyer Rodriguez, Zumutor Biologics. On behalf of Krishna Kumar of Simply Learn, I believe we have Prashant Parmar, the Senior Director of the company. Kunal Shah of Free Charge, I believe there's somebody to take the award on his behalf. Arnav is here to take the award. How nice. L. Shivaprakash,